Good evening. For tonight's video, we're looking at another one of my all-time favourite car reviews. No, it's not a Porsche or a Lamborghini or a Bugatti or a Ferrari. It's a Vauxhall Zafira. Let me know what you think of the video. Enjoy.
And it's Monday, it's new car day. And I'm not on a train, I'm not getting a lift, and I'm not on my skateboard. I'm actually walking 6.1 miles to go and get my car. And I've just seen a friend of mine and he said, "You're going to walk 6.1 miles to go and get..." And I said, "Yes. Would you not walk 6.1 miles to go and get a cheap And he said, "No, I wouldn't even cross the road for one." 6.1 miles, and what have we got? A Vauxhall Zafira! Last night I posted on the Geoff Buys Cars Facebook page, what is the first thing that comes into your head when you see an early Zafira? And you guys, you weren't very nice about my car. I'm going to read you some of them. Dogging, universal credit, rather walk thanks, my one was boring, given up, shame on you, England flags. Someone just posted the University of Life starter pack, which includes a UKIP badge and some England flags. That's a little bit racist, I think. Is that racist? Might be racist. Fire, my stepson's one went up in smoke. Shit. Fire hazard, perfect dogging vehicle, total defeat, tragic. Chav wagon, bread loaf, burn it, self-immolating. Karen, nope, just nope. Sharon, Karen and Sharon, I've given up on life. Contraception, said someone, and someone else said should have worn a condom. So there's a similar theme developing here, and someone says it has an extremely effective heater. So there you go. That is your comments on my Vauxhall Zafira, and come on guys, it's not that bad. If you need a car and you need to transport 7 people, it's all right. If you're a petrol head, if you like your cars, this and the Citroen Picasso are probably your most hated vehicles. They're my most hated vehicles. I've always hated the early Zafira and the early Citroen Zafira Picasso more than anything in the whole entire world. And I spend a lot of time telling my children that they should try things that they don't like because they don't know if they'll like them until they've tried them. And I don't like Vauxhall Zafiras, so I bought one to try it and see if I like it. First impressions? I love it. This one popped up and it was very cheap and very local. It's actually very clean and tidy, and it's very much got 7 seats as well. It's not an SRI, it's not a 2-litre diesel, it's not even the 1.8, it's a 1.6 Comfort Edition, which means it hasn't even got armrests. It's basically the worst Vauxhall Zafira that I could possibly have bought, but I've gone and bought the best example of the worst Vauxhall Zafira that I could possibly have bought. And what's funny is I'm sure some of you are saying you would have been better off walking home, but actually it's 6 degrees and this has got heaters, so to be honest, it's all right. I actually don't mind it either. It's all right. It's not hateful. It's not as hateful as I thought it was going to be, and I've driven a Citroen Zafira Picasso and it's definitely not as hateful as one of those either. One slight problem with the 7-seater is you don't actually have much of a boot. There's not a huge amount of space in the back here when you've got the rear seats in. So one drawback of having too many children. It's a 7-seater, you see, so I've got 2 at the back here. I've got to check them all out, right? Yeah, that one works, although it's a little bit tight. This one's pretty good. Yeah, not too bad. I'll get over here, look. This one's pretty good, yeah. The middle's not too bad, but you see a little bit high, and then I don't mind that one. I'm all right with the passenger seat. Yeah, that's okay. There we go. And then there's a driver's seat as well. Oh. Roof very high as well. There's a lot of space there above my head. I mean, I could wear a large hat. I could wear a very large hat, actually. I could wear a number of hats. Even though it's only the 1.6, it's actually pretty peppy, and most of these cars are city cars, you know, they're family cars. You're going to run around and do the school run, you're going to pop to the shops, and the 1.6 litre engine is actually not underpowered for this. Controversial point. I've owned this car for about 3 hours now. I've taken it to the tip and it was absolutely fine. Pulls through the gears, absolutely lovely, and I haven't really had any of those moments where I'm thinking, wow, this is underpowered. Day 2 of Zafira ownership. For the first time today I got over 60 mile an hour, which is weird because I was in 5th gear doing 3 and a bit thousand RPM. I'm there looking for another gear, wondering if the engine's got anything more to give. So apparently this car is only designed to function at around just less than 55 miles an hour. So it's a school run car. Yes, the diesels are going to be better on fuel on a run, and yes, the 1.8 litre is going to be that bit more engaging, and yes, obviously the GSI is going to be a heck of a lot faster. But really, what do you need? If you've got young kids and you're running around the shops, 1.6 litres is absolutely fine. Inside, it's just standard Vauxhall. Vauxhall have never really done really engaging interiors, have they? I've never jumped in a Vauxhall and thought, oh yeah, this is nice. And it's got air conditioning and electric windows. One touch look. Ah, oh, one touch look. Ah, oh, it worked earlier. One touch look. One long touch then. The life cycle of a Vauxhall Zafira goes something like this. For the first 60,000 miles, they're used by a family that has got one too many children for a normal car, and they're looked after, but they're not really serviced properly, and the inside is never clean. And then it gets to 60,000 miles, and then it's sold to another family who've got one too many children, or two too many children, and they can't quite afford to do the maintenance in the same way as the first family did, because otherwise they would have bought a newer car. So they look after it in a slightly not so good way for the next 30,000 miles. At which point, it's sold to a young man who's just starting up his own plastering business or plumbing business, and he takes the rear seats out, and they're then lost to the annals of time, and he uses it as a van for the next 30,000 miles, at which point it then starts to break, is absolutely worthless, has been trashed inside, hasn't been cleaned since it was on about 15,000 miles, and is worth no money. That's why these cars are disappearing at an alarming rate, because they all go through that exact process, sometimes with more owners. You find one with 3 owners, you're laughing. Statistically speaking, that has happened to every early Vauxhall Zafira so far, which is why, when you look, there's actually not that many of them left. So, the car that was once so numerous on British roads, the car that was bought by everyone, ever, and was everywhere all the time, is now getting rare. Is it a classic car? No, but, well, possibly. Is it going to start becoming desirable? You know, are collectors going to be hankering over early Vauxhall Zafiras at auctions? Probably not, but I like oddball stuff that's getting unusual, and the sad fact is cars that used to be very, very numerous are now very, very unusual and rare. I'm going to put it up on Gumtree for £900 because I think that's what it is worth, and I'm going to offer delivery anywhere in the country and see what happens. A friend of mine saw it on the Facebook page, got in touch and said, how much do you want for it, after they'd had a few drinks on Friday night. So they texted me about 11:30, and by about 11 o'clock the next morning the deal was done. I did say that it was going to end up being sold to someone who was going to use it as a van, and sure enough it's sold to some friend of ours and he's going to use it as a van. So there we go, job done. One more car out of the way. Zafira off to its new home with Tom and Cat to be used as a dumper. Registration plate TKD, Tom and Cat's dumper. Financials on the Zafira. I paid £400. I did nothing to it. I didn't wash it. I didn't even have to put any fuel in it. I sold it to my friends Tom and Cat for £550. All right, I bought a soft drink on the way home, and I had to do a 6-hour walk, and I owned it for 6 days. But 150 quid profit, and with the money I made from the Zafira, I went and bought this. So that's the next one, isn't it?